Johnny, we're back. It's time for Deal
Woo!
of the Week.
DOW, the Dow. Danny, we're going to switch it up. I'm doing a lot of
I like it.
condos.
Yeah.
Yep, we're going to do a house. So I was actually in this house here. I had chosen this house as a value and as a kind of have you considered this option for some clients that want to retire with Maui? So
Mm,
you and I have talked about it. It tends to be the clients that we work with, they tend to retire in three different styles, right? Vast
yeah.
majority one, they even though they're technically not completely retiring on Maui, it's still part of the retirement plan. It's the vacation rental condo. John, I live in Seattle. I live here when the weather's crappy, it's rainy. I'm gonna come over there. I love whale season, and then when I'm out there, there's so much fees and taxes. I want it to pay for itself or at least help out. And then you have others where it's like, I don't share my stuff, but I want lock and leave. So I'm looking at condos. They don't necessarily have to be vacation rental. I want a nice view, etc. And then you have others that just pull the trigger and they're just going to move over here full time. And they tend to look for a house. This one here provides options or provides options. So we are in Kihei. However, as we get closer to Wailea, our values of everything start to get higher. And this neighborhood here, if you stay on Kauhale, you will get to Kilohana. And Kilohana always represents our imaginary border between Kihei and Wailea. So you can see how close that is. Now, let's talk about price range. Keawakupu Beach there, Danny. There's two resorts there. We've got the Monakai, and then we have Kihei Surfside. Monakai is amazing because they look down Keawakupu Beach. You can get a two-bedroom there. There's a bit of a deal for 1,697,000. Square footage is on those about 767 square feet. High taxes, high fees, etc. So what would I do with 2825 Kauhale Street? Well, if I was a local person, I'm buying it because maybe I have other family members that I want to enjoy the house with. So that's why I want to have the ADU or the Ohana. Or I want it to help pay for my mortgage. So I do that as well. But if I was going to use this house to retire with Maui, it depends on where I am. So maybe I'm buying this before I retire, and I'm going to leave the one bedroom, one bath Ohana available for me to use when I come over to Maui. And I'm going to
Mm,
hang out there and I'm going to leave it vacant. And my tenant's going to be in the main house. And I have a great relationship with them. So they keep an eye on the little Ohana in the back. So if I didn't want to, and I wanted to just live in the house and I wanted to generate rental income, that one bedroom is going to bring you 3,500 bucks a month. The main house, even though it is a two bedroom, two bath, 1,225 square feet, I still think it brings between 5,500 and 6,000. So the person that bought this, it's unfortunate, had somebody
mm,
pass away, husband, and was always on the island and just felt like maybe having a different environment kind of help with the healing, etc. Bought this in January, put made it perfect, dude. And then her family members said, Ma, we want you back in Wailuku. So
mm.
anyway, that's the scoopy that's going on with that. I'll share with you that in one of the two bedrooms unit, not the primary bedroom, of course, but the secondary bedroom, she did a very interesting split where she split the one bedroom into two. And so they're very narrow, as you can imagine. One's being used as in the office, and then the other has a twin bed. Now, it's kind of functions as a three bedroom. So a family with small children, it may work there for the large home portion. But man, the value is in the remodel, the location, and the fact that it's a detached Ohana with a cottage. And we're still seeing North Kihei workforce housing neighborhoods bring similar money with a house and a detached cottage. Tax benefits, man. So here on Maui, if it's your primary residence, you would fill out a homestead exemption form, submit that before the end of December. It would give you a $300,000 reduction on the assessed value of the home. And then you would spend probably between $1.75 and $2.50 per thousand of assessed value in taxes. I'm going to imagine it's probably around 2,500 bucks. Now, so if it's your primary residence, you're going to definitely want to do that. If it's not your primary residence, there is a long-term rental exemption because Maui County wants to change behavior of investors and have them stop doing the Airbnb model so crazily and help out the local economy by being long-term investors and landlords. So similar, fill out a long-term rental exemption. It must be a one-year lease that is included with that paperwork. It cannot be 6 months. It must be for 1 year. And they will give you a similar exemption, 300,000 off the assessed value. And now you're not going to be paying as low, like that $1.50, $1.75 to $2.50 range, but I think you're somewhere in like the $3.50 range. I will bring up the TVR rate just for comparison. With a short-term vacation rental condo, you get no exemption whatsoever, and you're paying close to $12 per thousand of assessed value. If you're moving here from California, you won't be shocked at all. It'll feel very similar to what you pay at home. But if it's your primary residence, guys, we pay the lowest property taxes in the nation. It is a deal of the week. Now, there's always a little negative, Danny, and hit the map. So the house in Ohana across the street, caddy corner there with all the cars in front of it, is not a beat up house. It's not Sanford and Son. But because there's no HOA, the guy is allowed to park a bunch of cars. And so that was the downside that my clients found. I still had views, if I remember correctly, from the main house because it is upstairs. Like I said, everything is new in there. The grounds are incredible. You can help this lady move back with her family. There's still room in there, in my opinion. The agent was following up with me, telling me she's highly motivated. It's a great, great option, I feel, man. Really, really hits some different usages as well. And yeah, that's how people retire with Maui or just move about the island.
Thinking outside the box is how you got to look at Maui real estate. Make it work for you. Don't can make whatever experience you want, and you're not far from the beach. Either way,
you can build your own community. I'm going to tell you something, guys. You treat your renter well. You treat them like family. You don't jack up the rent all the time and just try to make it more of like this, money-making deal. They will stay forever, dude. People do not move here on Maui. Once they set the budget here, like the incomes are so tight. Like once you set your budget, you do not want to break that budget. They will stay for life.
For years and years and years and years and years. No hassle.
Yep. Jack up the price really high on your rent. You're going to get people that are stretching. They don't care about it because they're pissed off, and not a good strategy. Be part of the community.
3,500 is a fair rate.
All day long. You got Maui Meadows across the street, higher rents up there. Professional people want to be in this location. It's Wailea, man. It's high end. You know what I mean? We're right there. It's a great spot.
DOW, deal of the week, and that's why. We'll see you next time.
The behavior is there. You get the remodel and the Ohana for free. Literally. Like that price range there. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Bonus.